Welcome to Ames, Iowa. We are in Hilton Coliseum for the duel with University of Missouri and the University of Northern Iowa. Hello, I'm Jeff Bradley. Quick programming note, we will have the 10 matches for the Missouri duel. We will then, at 4 o'clock, wrestle 9 extra matches. Arizona State did not make the trip. Some COVID-related problems in Tempe, so they did not make the trip. But we will have 19 matches for the University of Northern Iowa. Starting out right away, we have Brody Teske, a redshirt sophomore from Northern Iowa. He's 2-0 on the year. His opponent is Connor Brown from Missouri. Brown in on a shot. Teske trying to cut the corner now as Brown elevates him. Teske tries to jump over the top. He's rolling through. He's in a little bit of danger there, and the Missouri coaches are calling that. I think it was a 1 count for danger. But Brown does get the 2-point takedown. Brown 3-1 on the year, redshirt junior. Lost a real close match to number 3 Drew Hildebrandt from Central Michigan, 7-5. He's putting a hard right on Teske right now. Teske tries to do a little elevator roll. Now he's building up to his feet, and he gets out for his 1-point escape. Teske got Brown a little bit of a front headlock, pulls him down to the mat. And Brown gets back up in his tripod and then back, squares up to his feet. Brown in on a shot. Teske defends it. Hits a couple fakes, but doesn't go under Brown. Now Brown working a Russian tie. Teske hand fights out of that. Teske just a straight double. Just drive Brown, just a freight train double to put Brown down and gets a 2-point takedown. Brown hits a nice little standing Granby. Gets back to his feet. Good mat return by Teske, and then Brown continues to wrestle, does a nice job, gets out for his 1 point. So we're knotted at 3 at 1:25, 35 seconds left in the first period. Nice little shuck by Teske. Doing a nice job of faking, lowering his level. He's just got to blow through it just like he did on that double. Short time in the first. Little boot scoop by Brown. Gets in on Teske's legs, but there won't be enough time to finish here. And we will go to the second period, tied at 3 apiece. A little bit of a new look for Doug Schwab's Panthers. A number of outstanding seniors graduated. Among them, Max Thompson, Bryce Steyert, Jay Schwarm, Taylor Lujan. Leaving out a couple more, but those guys won over 400 matches. So you're going to see a lot of new faces for UNI as Teske's getting a little bit of trouble, was trying to tilt him. But Brown's elevating Teske's leg. Now Teske is looking to get some near fall, but he's also got to watch for that defensive fall. That should probably be a count right there. Well, he's up on top of Teske's shoulder. Now Teske's in trouble, and he gives up the 2. If he gets his arm back, he will not go to his back, and he limp arms over the head, but that's a nice job of wrestling by Brown there to get that reversal. Puts himself up 5-3. Now Teske gets to his feet. Brown put a lot of weight on that tripod stand-up and then just comes behind him and pulls him back down to the mat. Now Brown's got one leg in. He's trying to get the other one in. It looks like he's got them both in now, and Teske flat on his stomach. And Brown trying to work out Teskey's left arm. Now he's working a far side half. Teskey's got rid of one leg. But Brown draped over a little bit of a cross body ride. And we get a stalemate call. So we're going to have a restart with Brown up 5-3. He does have 44 seconds of riding time and 34 seconds left in the second period. Teskey up to his feet. Good lift and return by Brown. Teskey hits a little grabby. Now tries to elevate through, but now he's giving up near fall, or at least one count. He did give up a 2 count. He did not give up a 2 count. Excuse me. Teskey ends up reversing Brown, and now he's trying to tilt him, and you can still get tilt out of bounds there if Teskey's ankle was still in, and it was. His hand was still in. The referee was talking probably about that near fall. And it looks as though, well, might have some blood time. Got a trainer coming out. But we'll reset this real quick. I think they're going to go back and they're going to review it. It looks like the referees. And my guess is they're going to review that if it was a 2 count near fall for Brown. Teskey reversed him as it stands right now before review. It's 5-5. 13 seconds left in the second period. Advantage time riding. 50 seconds for Missouri. UNI Panthers ranked number 20. They're 2-0. Defeated South Dakota State and North Dakota State last Sunday in Brookings. Doug Schwab, 11th season already. Time flies. Schwab was assistant at Virginia Tech and at Iowa. 3-time All-American at the University of Iowa. National champion, Olympian in 2008. His assistant coaches, fine assistant coach Lee Roper, 6th year. And Taylor Lujan way back in the day when he was still in Georgia at Compound. He was a 4-year starter at Appalachian State, NCAA qualifier in 2003. Randy Pugh, he's the old guy on the staff, 19th season. He's been here through Coach Bob and Brad Penrith. He was 4th in the NCAA tournament in the year 2000. And the volunteer assistant, Brett Robbins, it is his 7th year. Troy Garrett, the very fine trainer, 11th year, same as Coach Schwab. University of Missouri, Brian Smith has done nothing but an outstanding job there. Garnered his 300th dual win just a week ago. Missouri does lead the UNI series 8-3, although the Panthers took them out last year 20-13 in the friendly confines of the West. Like I said, Brian Smith has done an outstanding job there. 23rd year, 295 and 101. That's 75% winning percentage. He's had 55 All-Americans, 8 national champs. He got a trophy in 2015 when the team got 4th. Coach Smith, his assistants are Tyrell Todd. First year, now he's coached at Cal Poly, Arizona State, and Purdue. He was a 3-time great, he was a really good wrestler at Michigan. 3-time All-American, University of Michigan. Kendrick Maple, also assistant coach. He's coached at Oklahoma. He's coached at Purdue, Nebraska. 3-time All-American at Oklahoma and was a national champ in 2013. Missouri's volunteer assistant, Dom Bradley. 105 and 15 in his career. 2-time. Okay, after that pretty lengthy review, we are standing pat, 5-5. Into the second, 13 seconds left in the second period. 50 seconds. Connor Brown riding time. Well, Teskey wasn't even set there. They blew the whistle. His hand wasn't even on his elbow. Connor Brown capitalized, basically just jumped out and got a 1-point escape. So that'll move Brown to an advantage of 6-5 with Teskey going down here in the third period. Brown wants to get that right leg in. He's trying to jam it in there. Teskey's trying to clear it. Looks like Teskey's trying to get underneath it. He's going to try to get it over. He's starting to. Now he needs to come out the back door. Looks like he might be getting a little choke there. Teskey's still trying to come out the back. And we have a potentially dangerous and a stall call. Potentially dangerous, stop the match. The stall call is going against up to a minute 11 of riding time. Pulls him back in that crab ride. Teskey reaching back for a leg. Switches his hips over, but Brown's getting a near fall. He definitely has a 2 count this time. He gives up the 2 near fall. Does get the escape, but that'll move Brown ahead 8-6 with a minute 40 of riding time. Teskey goes into a front headlock, trying to drag Brown down to the mat. Fakes an ankle pick. Now he's going to try to spin around for 2. Teskey in on a leg. Now he's elevating Brown. That's going to be a 2-point takedown. He's covering both ankles. That should be a 2-point takedown right there. Cuts him right away. Score is 9-8 Brown, but he's got a minute 36 of riding time. So Teskey's going to need a right out or takedown and a right out. And Teskey's in on a shot, trying to elevate Brown's leg over the top. That's a 2-point takedown. Teskey's in good shape here. He's got the leg split. He's up 10-9, but we are going to be a tie match here and go in overtime. But Brown gets that. So start the afternoon out with a bang. Overtime, the very first match of the day. Referee is reminding Connor Brown that he has a warning for stalling. A takedown here is going to salt the match away for somebody. Brown in on a low single, elevates Teskey. Teskey locked through the crotch. Now Teskey builds up. Brown's trying to step over. Now Brown jumps over the top, grabs his ankles. Classic scramble here. Now Teskey rolling through and going to try to come out the back. Brown's getting close. Teskey's got to keep that. He's got to keep that leg. He's going to roll him through in a Grammy roll. And there's no points yet. If he clears his head off, he gets that. That's a 2-point takedown. Teskey should continue to wrestle there, but Teskey gets the takedown in overtime. Wins 12-10 to put the Panthers on the board first. At 3-2-0. We'll move up to 133 pounds. Get the mat up. These fellas start wrestling. For University of Northern Iowa, we will have Kyle Biscaglia. He's a redshirt sophomore out of Waukee. Placed at Midlands as a true freshman. 3-time champ in high school, Fargo All-American. Importantly, 2-time academic All-State. He's pre-med. I believe he's had 1B in his 3 years of college. His opponent, University of Missouri, will be number 8, Matt Schmidt. He's a redshirt year. He's 3-1. He lost to Zach Price from South Dakota State 7-5. Biscaglia happened to beat Zach Price last week up in Brookings, South Dakota. Both guys on a knee. This is where Biscaglia wants to be for sure. He likes wrestling from one knee. Schmidt's trying to isolate Biscaglia's left arm and either drag it through or drag him down to the mat. He did drag Biscaglia down to the front headlock, but no action there, so we're going to stalemate that and get a restart. Both been fighting hands here, trying to get some wrist control. Now Biscaglia, a little bit of a 2-on-1, pretty good head position. Schmidt does a real good job of clearing Biscaglia's head with his own head and getting head position. Then they just break the tie. And now they're just forehead to forehead with collar ties. Biscaglia, a little bit of a shot there. Nice reaction by Schmidt. A little bit of a whip over action. Biscaglia keeping Schmidt's left arm on the mat as he works back up to his feet. Biscaglia in an outside single. He's trying to build here, trying to get underneath Schmidt. Or he's trying to cut the corner here. Either way will work. Now Schmidt's trying to pop around the back. Biscaglia's got a hold of Schmidt's left ankle, and we are going to get, well, we're either going to get a blood time or we're going to get potentially dangerous. Potentially dangerous. Biscaglia down to a knee, collar tie. .50 seconds left, first period. 133 pounds. Schmidt, Biscaglia. We're just out on the mat. Both guys trying to get a little bit of an angle, just any little bit of advantage. Biscaglia's got nice head. I'm not sure what we call it. I guess that was a stalemate. I did not see the referee indicate stalemate. There was not much action going. Little arm drag attempt by Schmidt. Biscaglia back down to that knee. Ten seconds left in the period. So that's how first period's going to end. 0-0. Biscaglia's choice, he defers over to Missouri. Schmidt will go down to start the second period. Right up to his tripod. Missouri's known for that. A ton of their guys will tripod stand up. Biscaglia's doing a nice job of keeping a lot of weight on Schmidt's left hand. And then he tries to hit a little bit of a Granby there. Biscaglia stops that, but Schmidt does get to his feet. Biscaglia's got a leg laced and drags Schmidt back down to the mat. Schmidt right back up to that tripod. He's starting to try to square up, but Biscaglia does a nice job. He's getting out in a little bit of a cross-face action, trying to crank on Schmidt. And now he's going to try to either pick a wrist, or it looks like he's going, yeah, man, I thought he was going to go bar arm there, but he didn't. and then just drives Schmidt right to his belly. And he's going for a ball and chain. And it looks like he's got it. Now can he lift him and tilt him before he gets off the mat? But regardless, it's a hard ride by Biscaglia. He's got 1:19 right now. We go off the mat with Biscaglia, 1:20 riding time, 32 seconds left in the period. 0-0 score. Be huge for Biscaglia to get a right out right here. And he's got a pretty good start with 25 seconds left. He's got Schmidt in the splits, reaching across, trying to get the far elbow. Now he goes right back to that ball and chain. Short time, there's only 10 seconds left. And that's how the period's going to end, with Biscaglia on top where he started. Score still 0-0 heading into the third. But Biscaglia's got 2 minutes of riding time. Northern Iowa's choice. Biscaglia goes down to start the third period. Schmidt gets a little bit high in his ride. Biscaglia pops out for 1 point escape. So Biscaglia with a 1-0 lead plus 1:46 of riding time. Schmidt working a 2-on-1. Biscaglia, nice little outside single. Elevates Schmidt. Puts him down to his near hip, elevates him again. Trying to split those legs and come through. Schmidt does a nice job of grabbing Biscaglia's ankles. He clears that last ankle, he's going to score. Easier said than done. Now if he can get a little bit of weight on it, oh, and we get a we get a stalemate right there. So 49 seconds left, third period. Schmidt picks up the pace here. Just a straight double right at Biscaglia's hips. Gets the 2-point takedown. Releases him right away. So it's 2-2. Then spins around behind, puts a leg in. Schmidt now up 4-2. And we are off the mat with 16 seconds left. Biscaglia's got the riding time bank, so it's realistically it's 4-3 escape. We would see another overtime match. Schmidt with a leg in, hooked in through the crotch. Biscaglia's going to try to roll through that. Just a few ticks left. He's going to have to hustle to get out and tie this match, and he will not. And Matt Schmidt turns up the heat in the third period and gets the 4-3 victory. Referee's taking a quick break, getting a drink of water. 141 pounders are ready to roll. For Northern Iowa will be Drew redshirt sophomore from Fort Dodge, Iowa. He was a state champ for Coach Bobby Thompson. His father wrestled for UNI, Troy Bennett. His opponent, number 9, Alan Hart, redshirt junior. He's 4-0 on the season, 2020 national qualifier. State champion at St. Ed's High School in Ohio. Great wrestling there, coached by John Heffernan. I glanced over, we've got Cale Happel wrestling on the other mat. And I was trying to get an update on that, and I see Hart took down Bennett. So Hart goes up 2-0. I will try to give an update on these extra matches as they occur. Mainly focused on the Missouri UNI dual meet. Hart looks like he's got a high thigh there, high thigh ride. Trying to turn over Bennett's hip and expose him for near fall. Put a lot of pressure on Bennett's lower back. And Hart is getting the count. That's a 4 count, so he is going to get 4 near fall for that. After that hold, he's got to break the hold to get the 4. Hart going right back to it, trying to crank Bennett over again, and he does. It's Bryce Steyert's favorite move. He scored tons and tons of back points with that bow and arrow action last year. Hart gets his 4, now he's looking at cross-face cradle. He's still got his leg in. So it take down a couple turns. Alan Hart has a 10-0 lead on Drew Bennett and looking to get a tilt right here, and he does for the 2 count and a 2-point near fall. Hart well over 2 minutes of riding time, 12-0 lead. As the first period is going to come in here in 5 seconds. So Hart's choice, he's going to go down to start the second period. Bennett in a 12-0 hole here. Headed into the second period. See if Bennett can put a right to Hart. He's trying to bring Hart through. Hart does a nice job of catching the leg and trying to reverse Bennett right here. Bennett still has Hart's left ankle, so no points yet. And this is probably going to end up in a stalemate. It's going to be hard for either guy to improve. Got a stall call on Drew Bennett. And at that point of the match, that stall call, take the stall call and get a restart. If you can improve in that position, improve. If you're going to give up the escape, take the stall call. Hart up to his feet. Hits a nice little roll from the standing position. Gets a 2-point reversal. So that's putting Hart up 14-0. He's obviously looking for any near fall for a technical fall or to get the conventional fall and the extra point. Hart with one leg in. Just putting a hard ride on Drew Bennett right now. where Bennett needs to get forward, crawl that right hip forward. He does, but as he comes up, Hart does a nice job of loading him up and tilting Bennett. And he's got a 2 count there, and that's going to be the end of the match. So 16-0, Alan Hart beats Drew Bennett. We will move up to 149 pounds. Four Fort Dodge senior high athletes in the lineup. This is number 3. It's Tristan Lara. He's a redshirt junior, 2-time high school champ. His opponent, number 3 in the nation, Brock Mahler. He's a junior. He's 5-0. 2020, he was a first-team All-American. 2019, he was 6th. 4-time champ from Columbia, Missouri. Mahler and Max Thompson had some wars last couple years. Great battles. Just a solid wrestler. Stays in good position. Well conditioned. Lara. A lot of positions. Mahler in on outside single. A little bit of a shin whizzer for Lara. Limp arms out. Brock Mahler does and gets his 2-point takedown. Lara up to his tripod. Tries to hit a little roll, doesn't get that, but does get up to his feet. And Mahler cuts him for a 1-point escape. Just an 11-second ride there, so only advantage for Mahler on top was 11 seconds. Lara down 2-1. Mahler doing a real good job of controlling Lara's left wrist. Needs to clear that wrist. There he does. He clears it. Mahler over the top, reaching around, grabbing Lara's ankle. He's starting to cut the corner and trying to get a leg in, and does. He gets a 2-point takedown. Mahler, good job of scrambling right there. Off a pretty good shot by Tristan Lara. Four to 1 Mahler, 44 seconds left in just the first period here. Lara up to his tripod. Mahler doing a good job of isolating Lara's right leg and just trying to extend him and bump him forward. Lara doing a good job. Usually don't like stepping over like that, but he steps over. Mahler did a good job of elevating him, but then Lara comes out for the 1-point escape. So now the match 4-2. Mahler ahead of Lara. 10 seconds left in the period. So at the end of the first, we're going to have Tristan Lara down by 2, 4-2, but he's going to pick the down position to start the second period. Mahler does have 42 seconds of riding time. Team score 8-3, Missouri over UNI. Lara back up to his feet, get that tripod, now he's up. He has to stay up on his feet, and he does stay on his feet, and Mahler lets him go. So now we're in a 4-3 match. Mahler still has 51 seconds of riding time. Mahler doing a good job of controlling the tie-ups with Lara. Lara needs to put Mahler in motion a little bit. A little half shot by Mahler. And then right back in his collar tie and going to that left wrist of Lara's. That's good work by Lara getting out of that collar tie. But now Mahler's trying to work back up Lara's left arm, but Tristan's in position there. Mahler just dropped under it, an outside single, and Tristan gets dinged with a stall warning. Lara's got to put Mahler in a little bit of a motion. You're going to have to make a guy make a mistake. You're going to make him step. There you go. A nice little fake like that. If you could get Mahler to bounce, then you could attack. Looks like Lara picked. 10 seconds left in this second period with Mahler and Lara. So that's how we're going to go into the third. Mahler's going to have a 4-3 advantage and 51 seconds in riding time. Lara's probably going to eat into that a little bit at least. But to win this match, we're going to have to turn Mahler. We're going to have to take him down. So Mahler's out for a 1-point escape. Puts him up. And Mahler right back to that collar tie and a wrist. Mahler back in on that outside single. Now he's into a seat belt. Lara does a good job of hipping into him. But Mahler putting a ton of pressure on Lara's left shoulder, and he's got the ankle trapped. Lara's still got that whizzer in, trying to fight this attempt off. Back to a seat belt, now drops back to the single. Lara's still got the whizzer, limp legs out to avoid the score. Nice little piece of wrestling by Lara, but now there's under 50 seconds left in the third period, and he's down by 2. Lara's got to pick up the pace here. Mahler doing a real good job staying square, tying up. Lara, nice job of clearing that tie, but needs to follow that up with an offensive attack. Lara dropped in on shot, or excuse me, Mahler dropped in on shot. Now, Lara's got to go quick here. It's a low single. It's not a quick finish usually, and he's only got a few ticks left. And that's how the period's going to end the match. 5-3. Brock Mahler gets the victory. Just needed more offensive attacks, but himself a chance to win that match. That's going to move the Tigers' lead to 11-3 in the team race. And we're going to be at 157 pounds. bigger but younger brother, Cade Lara, obviously also from Fort Dodge. 2019 had 13 pins, 4-time placer, 2-time finalist in the Iowa High School Championships. His opponent, Jarrett Jacques, number 13 in the country. He's a junior, 4-0 on this young season. He was a qualifier, NCAA qualifier in 19 and 20. And he's a 4-time champ out of Columbia, Missouri. JQ's working a little bit of a underhook, gets back out of that. Just like Tristan, Cade, pretty dangerous. Oh, JQ's in on a nice little shot there. Cracks Lara down to his right hip. Now he's going to try to roll him up in a little bit of a Granby. Lara does a good job of hipping into JQ's there and clearing out of that shot attempt. Very good, Cade Lara. And gets back up to his feet. Lara tries a little bit of an arm drag. He drops back in more of a high single. Now he's got that single up in the air. Lara him back into him. Gets back a lot better spot. Really needs to try to run that hip down, break that lock, and he can get a 2-point takedown. JQ's on the mat, and we're going to get a stalemate. Obviously, from the UNI perspective, you'd like Lara to get a little more time to work there, but referees want to keep this action moving. JQ's hits a little bit of it's more of like a crotch, but it's almost like a high single where he finishes. He steps in, but there he's trying to step in on a double. He's got some long arms. And just with his activity, JQ's has got Lara dinged for a stall warning. So Lara then takes a shot, a little whip over by JQ's for a 2-point takedown. Just 30 seconds left in this first period. JQ's goes to that cross wrist ride. Now it's a 2-on-1 ride. Lara gets out of that, but there's only 15 seconds left. It's imperative he gets a 1-point escape here. But JQ's got a hard claw ride and trapped ankle. And will ride Lara out this first period. So JQ's with a 2-0 lead over Lara. 30 seconds riding time. And he's going to start in the down position in the second period. Lara goes, drops in a leg, right to that tripod. Lara had JQ's wrist trap, but just didn't have enough power to keep it down. Now, JQ steps in on that high single again. Good head position. Lara does a good job of working his hip down, put a lot of weight on that single and getting out of that. Now JQ's drags Lara down to the mat, and that's going to be a 2-point takedown. And then JQ's right to that hard ride, trying to get, nice little elevator for Cade Lara. Gets out for a 1-point escape. So Cade might be limping a little bit, maybe dinged his knee a little bit there, but JQ's just long, high single, steps in, and just drives up to it and gets a 2-point takedown. Lara tries to roll again, but does not get it this time. And Jake Hughes is going to work out front and Lara the 1-point escape. And Lara, more evident, that limp. I don't know if it's ankle or knee. Jake Hughes got a near cradle locked up. He's got a 2-point takedown. Takes Lara to his back, but does not get any near ball. But extends his lead to 9-2, and he's over a minute of riding time. That's how the second period's going to end, with a 9-2 lead for Jake Hughes. Lara's choice in the third. He looks over to Coach Schwab. And we've got trainer Troy Garrett out there. I think we're taking some injury time with Cade Lara. And what it looks like is Lara is grabbing the ankle. So Troy Garrett probably going to tape right over the shoe, sock the whole shooting match to get Lara back in the match here. But you could tell he was, I couldn't tell if he just tweaked a knee or an ankle, but he was limping and just has no drive off that right leg. So hopefully they can tape this thing down, make it a little more solid, and Lara can get through this third period. Jake Hughes from Missouri does have a 10-2 lead, minute 28 of riding time. So Lara's going to go down to start the third period. Team score is Missouri 11, the UNI Panthers 3. Cade looks like he's trying to push back into a tripod, and he does. A little switch action. Jake Hughes comes up with him. Looked like Lara was out with that Granby and did get out for one. So now Jake Hughes 10-3. Lara on a shot attempt. Off to the side, Jake Hughes dropping heavy hips on Lara right now. And we'll get a 2-point takedown. And then he's going to work off the side and lock up a near cradle. And he's going to try to run through Cade Lara, and he does, and puts Lara on his back. Lara needs to stay up on that elbow. Do not get pinned here. Lara battles hard there, gets off his back, but that's a 4-point near fall. Jake Hughes cuts Lara. Score now, Jake Hughes 16, Lara 4. And Jake Hughes in on a leg attack again. It will score another takedown to make it 18-4. The right out would make it a technical fall. Got a stall warning on Cade Lara. 1 point for Jake Hughes, and that will be the technical fall at 19-4. We're going to move up to 165 pounds. Pat Shanefelder. He's a redshirt junior, Antioch, Illinois. Academic All-Big 2019. Back in high school, two-time finalist and champ for the state of Illinois that has excellent wrestling. Got Derek Holschlag wrestling on mat number 2. Against an Iowa State opponent. I'll try to keep everybody updated on that. But back to the Missouri duel. For Missouri, Keegan O'Toole. He is a freshman. He's 4-0. 4-time Fargo champ. Won Fargo once. 4-time Wisconsin champ. O'Toole in on a leg attack, trying to split Shane Felder's legs and come out the back door here. And that is a 2-point takedown for O'Toole. O'Toole with a trapped ankle and a lot of pressure on Shane Felder's head and shoulders. And really, Shane Felder needs to get a new start here. Yep. Don't let that clock tick any longer than it has to. Get a new start. Come back to the middle. Regroup. Shane Felder, a little bit of a roll. O'Toole pulls him back in that crab ride. Nice little ankle switch action, but get out for his one escape. Good reshot by O'Toole there. Got Shane Felder up in the air. And Shane Felder had his arm trapped. I didn't see how he broke the lock, but O'Toole puts Shane Felder out, down to a hip and gets a 2-point takedown. So O'Toole with a 4-1 lead in the first period, 45 seconds of riding time. Dual meet score is now 16-3, University of Missouri over Northern Iowa. O'Toole with a leg, draping over the top. Shane Felder looks like he's trying to pull Shane Felder's left arm back into a bar. And now he does have he's got a bar, and he looks like he's trying to trap that same wrist for a tilt. Putting a ton of pressure on Shane Felder's left shoulder. Shane Felder's cleared the leg, but he does have to defend this bar now. And O'Toole's going to work this tilt off this bar arm, trap wrist. And he's going to get a 4-count near fall. Shane Felder continues to wrestle, gets in a little bit of a wheelbarrow action there, but O'Toole drives Shane Felder back on the mat and traps his ankle. 25 seconds left in this first period here. O'Toole's jumped out to an 8-1 lead. And it's just ticking over 2 minutes of riding time for O'Toole. O'Toole slides that right leg back in. But that's how the periods get in. 8-1 O'Toole. Ton of riding time, 2 minutes, 16 seconds. It's going to be Missouri's choice. O'Toole does take the down position to start the second period. Shane Felder, his claw ride, trying to get O'Toole extended. O'Toole does a nice job of pushing back into that tripod. And he's out for his 1-point escape. Nine to 1 O'Toole over Shane Felder. O'Toole in on a leg shot, but Shane Felder is starting to run his hip down. Needs to continue to run that hip down. Nice little shuck, little throw by O'Toole there. And gets a 2-point takedown. Moves his lead to 11-1. He's going right back to that bar arm. And he's trying to trap that same wrist and work that tilt. Schoenfelder trying to come out, and he does come out for his 1-point escape. .30 seconds left here in the second period. Schoenfelder in on attack. He's got O'Toole's left leg. But O'Toole's trying to cut that corner. Schoenfelder not very good position here. O'Toole's going to continue to cut that corner. And if Schoenfelder touches, and he does, it'll be a 2-point takedown. So now O'Toole's up 13-2. Over 2.5 minutes of riding time. It's going to be Schoenfelder's choice. He's going to take the neutral position to start the third period. Nice little quick low shot from O'Toole there for a 2-point takedown. O'Toole pushes Schoenfelder away for the 1-point escape to make it 15-3. Schoenfelder in a front headlock. O'Toole back in on a low shot, elevates real quick. We're going to get that scramble position. Schoenfelder's got that ankle. But if O'Toole puts any pressure on that and drives over it, he'll get 2, and he does. We've got a stalemate and a restart with 1:06 left in the third period. O'Toole from Missouri 17, Schoenfelder from UNI 3. Over 3 minutes of riding time for O'Toole, and O'Toole is going to go optional start and just releases Schoenfelder. Schoenfelder just a straight double. O'Toole does a nice job of blocking that with his hands and head. Seconds left in the match. Back in a leg shot, cuts off to a double, and he get the technical fall with that takedown. Intensity. It looks to me that Missouri just superior on the mat at this point. This will be at 174. Lance Runyon, University of Northern Iowa. He's a redshirt freshman, Southeast State, Iowa. He'll be wrestling Peyton Mako. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's 4-0, national qualifier in 2020. Runyon, nice little low single. Cuts across, gets a 2-point takedown, now looking for near fall. Mako, 2-time state champ. Yeah, we got some blood on the mat for sure. Mako's looks like right above his eyebrow. Cut pretty good. So Missouri trainer will come out and try to clean Mako up. A engineering major at the University of Missouri. So Runyon, real quick takedown, less than 20 seconds into the match to put him up 2-0. Only 6 seconds of riding time, and then we got the blood time, so maybe a minute or two. They're definitely going to have to tape Mako up. Looked like a pretty decent cut. And it's better just to take the time now, try to stop the bleeding, cover the cut. Too many of these, they go too quick. A little bit of pre-wrap, a little bit of tape, and then we're fighting that thing for the next 6 minutes. So here we go. Mako's all taped up. He will go in the down position. Runyon will cover him. Team score, Missouri 21, UNI 3. Runyon right to a claw ride. Mako trying to build up into that. Not textbook mat return, but Runyon kind of just pushes Mako down the mat. He's looking to get a cradle of his own. He's got a cradle locked up. Mako's arm comes free, though. Mako's left arm comes free. So there's a ton of separation there now. Runyon continuing to wrestle in this position. Just a little more precarious when Mako's got his arm out. And that is wise because you just can't get the same amount of pressure when that left arm comes free. It separates the cradle. So Runyon bails out of that and gives Mako the 1-point escape. So Runyon up 2-1 with still a minute 40 left in this first period. Mako in on a little attempt. Good little reshot by Runyon. Starts to build up. Snaps Mako off. With another good snap, but does not follow it with a leg shot. Continue to hand fight here, Mako and Runyon. Less than a minute left in this first period where Runyon's got a 2-1 lead. Just a straight double. Mako defends that. Runyon tries to drop it on a low single. Mako gets that front back out of that. And the pace is slowed a little bit here towards the end of the first period with just 25 seconds left. Runyon back to that collar tie. Trying to put some pressure on Mako's neck. Lower back. Another pull, another good pull, another good pull. Mako diving in on doubles, trying to build up. Runyon doing a pretty good job with his hips. Sliding off and sliding off. So he's defended that well. Now he tries to whip Mako over, and time runs out, so there are no points. Good little flurry there towards the end of the first period, but no points. So Runyon retains that 2-1 lead headed into the second period. He does have 50 seconds of riding time. Mako's going to go down to start the second. Runyon back to that claw ride. Trying to bump Mako forward. Mako up to his feet. Runyon trying to drag him back down. Mako hits a little bit of a Granby, and he's got Runyon in a bad spot, had his leg split, and was trying to expose him for near fall, but does not get that, but does get the 2-point reversal. Now Runyon builds up to his tripod, and they are off. They're off the mat now. So with that reversal, Mako jumps ahead 3-2. Runyon sitting right at a minute for riding time. But Mako's going to try to dig into that right now as he starts on top. Mako trying to get a little tilt action on Runyon. He's getting close, but it gets too high, and Runyon runs out. Just kind of runs out of that position, gets his 1-point escape to tie the match at 3. Still has 46 seconds of riding time, does Runyon, halfway through the second period. Real deep double there by University of Missouri's Peyton Mako, and drives Lance Runyon down to the mat for a 2-point takedown. So now Mako up 5-3. Working on that riding time. It's only 34-second advantage now for Runyon. And 34 seconds left in the second period. Runyon gets set, gets to his feet. Another little roll through. Looks like he's working on his own reversal right there. He's got a cradle locked up. They have not called any points yet. Tries to cut through on that cradle. Exposes himself, gets in a little bit of danger. Bails out. I think he's just going to hold on to that leg for a 1-point escape. So with 7 seconds left in the second period, Runyon's 8 into that lead now. Mako up 5-4. Runyon still 7 seconds of riding time. But that does not at this point look like it's going to be a factor, the riding time. Runyon going down to start the third. Down by a point to Mako. Runyon, nice job of getting to his feet. Mako just releases him. So we're all knotted up at 5-5. Minute 50 to go in this match. Runyon's had some nice offense. So is Mako. Mako driving double. Runyon does a nice job of getting those hips back. Tries to whip him over. Runyon gets a little out, tries to muscle Mako a little bit, gets a little bit out of position. Mako capitalizes on that, gets a 2-point takedown. Runyon back out for the escape, so it's 7-6, Mako. And we're gonna have some more blood time, so we may not have cleaned that up. We should have the first time, but like I said, I think that's a pretty good cut. So I think that thing was just it's gonna continue to bleed. So we have to put a ton of tape on that thing to stop the bleeding. Minute 14 left in the match here at 174 with Runyon and Mako. We also on mat 2 have a UNI wrestler stepping up. We've got Colton Hawks from Missouri, Parker Kyson for UNI. I will try to keep you updated on that, but we're going to stay with the dual meet side for right now with Runyon and Mako. Minute left in the third period. Runyon down by 1. Runyon trying to cut. He's got cradle locked up again. But he does not have control, even though he's got a cradle locked up. Trying to run Mako over, get the 2 and maybe some near fall. But the most important thing is you need to get a takedown here. UNI coaches wanted 2 there. They did not get 20 seconds left. Runyon drives him off the mat, and Mako gets a stall warning. 21 seconds left. Runyon down 7-6. Coach Schwab, he just hasn't thrown it yet. He's thinking about it. He is not going to throw that break. So 20 seconds left. Runyon needs a score here if he's going to try to win this match. Down by a point. Riding time's not a factor. Five seconds. Runyon's got to hurry. Tries a lat drop, and he is not going to get it. Mako will get a 2-point takedown. There will not be a near fall. But Runyon tried to score 30 where he can. It ends up losing 9-6. That's going to push Missouri's lead 24-3 over the Panthers. Coming in 184 pounds. Parker, that's at 184 pounds. University of Northern Iowa. Senior, he's out of Jackson, Florida. Good wrestling. Younger brother of former Panther and his opponent, number 16, Jeremiah Kent, red shirt, 5 year, last year 19-7. State champ in high school, also a Fargo All-American in both Greco and freestyle. Keegan Moore, pretty comfortable upper body. So is Jeremiah Kent. We might see some fireworks in this thing. Right now, we've just got a good hand fight going on. As I say that, Moore's trying to go double unders and jack Kent up. Kent's doing a good job getting his hips back and blocking with his head. Kent down to all fours. Was going to look like he was faking a little bit low single, but did not pull the trigger on it. Just a hard whip over by Keegan Moore. Had to get a 2-2 there, I would think, but it was so quick. I'm trying to see if the referee even had the count, which he did, so it's 4-2 Keegan, because Kent continues to wrestle, gets his reversal, and now he's getting his near fall. He's got a leg in, and he's pulling Keegan Moore's off leg to him. A little bit of a half action. There is not much wiggle room here for Keegan. And Kent gets the fall. In the first period here over Keegan Moore. So University of Missouri lead will now be 30-3. Northern Iowa. Missouri scored a ton of bonus points. Redshirt sophomore from Waterloo East High School, Waterloo, Iowa. Three-time Fargo All-American. His opponent, Rocky Elam. He's ranked number 20 in the country. He's a freshman. Record of 2-0 this year. State champ in Missouri. Very high recruit. I think he was number 10 or number 11 recruit in the country last year. It's a quick takedown. He's locking up a cradle on Gordon and trying to crank Tyrell Gordon over to his back for some near fall. There's no count yet, but it's very close. And now he's getting the count. Elam is. And he's got his 4 count. I would think, since he can't probably pin him in this position, he's going to release and then come back on top. But he's got Gordon in like a weird spot here where Gordon can't go either direction. So Elam gets his 4-point. And we're stopping for, I believe, blood time. So Elam up 6-0 halfway through this first period. And he's got 54 seconds of riding time. We'll switch over to Northern Iowa. Parker Kykaisen's up 3-2 in the third period with just a few seconds left against University of Missouri, and he has 6 seconds left in this match. You can hear the Missouri coaches egging their athlete to take some risk. But Parker does a real nice job of closing out that match and winning 3-2. Back underway on mat 1 with the University of Northern Iowa and Missouri duel. Gordon goes down, Elam covers. Elam working out front. And Gordon gets a 1-point escape. Now, Gordon, real good double. If he continues to drive those legs, he might get the takedown. But Elam did a good job of defending it, getting his legs and hips back. Elam in on a shot. He's trying to cut the corner on Gordon. Gordon continues to try to square up, but Elam's getting almost all the way behind him. Trying to lock Gordon's hip out, and he does, and comes around for the 2-point takedown. Elam's up 8-1 in the first period. Over a minute of riding time. 30 seconds left in this period. Elam just a little cover ride, trying to work some wrist control. 10 seconds left in the period. Just draped all over Gordon. Gordon trying to build up in that tripod, but he's not going to have enough time before the period ends to score. So the period will end 8-1. Ton of riding time for Elam, minute 49. A little more blood time for Gordon. He's going to get cleaned up. At some point would be a heavyweight, looking at his build. Problem is his older brother's wrestling heavyweight next. And he's a big old cat too, so It's not a bad way to close out a dual meet. Elam. But he's a big, rangy 97-pounder. So start the second. Elam's down, right up into that tripod. He's going to be out. Well, he's got the lock broke, and he gets out for his 1-point escape. Bumps his lead to 9-1. Not a ton of action right here. Oh, as I say that, drops in on a double. Drives up, but Elam gets his legs and hips back. Elam now in a little bit of a Metzger position as we go out of bounds. 1:01 left in the second period. Elam with a commanding 9-1 lead. Minute 42 of riding time. Gordon takes a shot. Elam defends that fairly easily, spins around, gets a 2-point takedown. Gordon does a good job of getting back to his feet. Gets his 1-point escape. Have two collar ties here. Elam with an underhook, a little bit of throw by action. Going back to that Metzger. Gordon might have felt the pressure there. Tries a little bit of a lateral drop and ends up going to his back. Scrambling back out of that to not give up near fall, but does give up a 2-point takedown to Elam. So Elam up now 13-2. With 4 seconds left in the second period. Be Gordon's choice in the third period. I think he's going to go down, but we may have some more blood time here. It looks like Elam this time. Actually, might be both guys. Cleaning up Tyrell Gordon and Rocky Elam. We will have one more match here in the dual meet, heavyweight. 2 ranked guys wrestling. We'll talk about that shortly. Arizona State not here due to COVID. But the Panthers will have 9 extra matches after this dual meet. So we start third period. Gordon down. He's trying to build up in his tripod. Elam doing a nice job of keeping a lot of weight on Gordon's hands. And just draped all over Gordon. Looking like he's going to start working a little bit of a cross-face cradle action. Gets a little bit out in front. Gets a little bit too high, so he works back behind Gordon. Now Gordon working back up into his tripod. Elam goes to step on his foot and extend him and drag him back down, and then he back trips him. Gordon stays on his feet. Now he tries to roll through. Elam does a good job of following him. Elam's still on top. And we've got more blood time. And I'm not sure if it's Missouri or Northern Iowa or both again. But Elam up 13-2. 3:04 of riding time. 58 seconds left in the match. Start 197 pounds. Probably the feature bout of the night is coming up. Two ranked wrestlers at heavyweight. So just about to get back underway here with 58 seconds left in the match. Tyrell Gordon from UNI will go back down under Rocky Elam. Gordon back into that tripod. Elam doing a nice job of stepping on Gordon's right foot and trying to extend him, get him back down to the mat. Elam's got his cradle locked. Gordon now goes down, trying to break that lock. Still got the cradle locked. It's going to be hard to turn Gordon from that position. And with just a few ticks left in the match, he breaks the lock. Gordon builds up, but that's the match. With that, 14-2 over Tyrell. And Missouri scored tons and tons of points, staying offensive, looking for every position. Francis Dugan from Iowa State. He's a redshirt senior from Albia. Honorable mention All-American. The 2019 NCAA. So one match away from All-American status. Two-time high school champ. Elam tries to throw by Isley, and Isley fights out of that. There's no score with Dugan and from UNI. Both heavyweights here just have collar ties. A little pushing and shoving, trying to get any advantage they can. Team score now 34-3. The Tigers over the Panthers. Heading into our last match of the night. Back to a collar tie. He's starting to get a little bit. Both guys very athletic for heavyweights. They have leg attempts. They're not afraid to go under guys, which you see sometimes. Guys do not want to get caught under these big, strong, heavy guys. These two fellows are not afraid. They will go under. They will try to score. Elam just kind of looks like it's kind of measured right there. A little snap by Elam. Isaac digging in. Control. Isley and Elam. Restart and get some action going here. Just both have collar tie. We're going anywhere. Elam keeps reaching out like he's trying to measure Isley with a nice snap there. Elam to step. A lot of weight on his left foot, but did not attack off that snap. Just continue to hand fight as the first period will come to a close. As we start 0-0. Elam's choice, he's going to start the second period down. Isley covers. Right to their tripod stand up and out for his escape. Elam is. To jump 1-0 lead. Forehead to forehead. Might be a little bit of respect here. Nobody wants to take that first risk, but if you don't take that risk, you're not going to get that reward. Back into a collar tie, each guy. The second period. Elam 1. Isley 0. Elam putting his out there. Measure play. Trying to control. Both men have collar ties again, forehead to forehead. Isley snaps Elam off. 30 seconds left in the second period. Isley had a little fake there, was thinking about pulling the trigger, couldn't quite do it. 15 seconds. Now Isley in on a shot. It's gonna have to be a quick finish, and he should get 2 right there. That looks like a 2-point takedown to me. He had a chest wrap, and as soon as that broke, Isley got the 2-point takedown. Just a few seconds left in the second period, which is huge. Doesn't give Elam the chance to get up and out for an escape. So Isley now up 2-1 over Elam, and will start the third in the down position. Dugan from Iowa State, McConkey from UNI are tied at 1-1 on the other mat. I'll try to keep you updated on that. As Isley goes to a short sit, Elam's got a near wrist and putting a ton of weight going forward on Isley's elbows and head and neck. Elam comes across to a waist and a claw ride. Isley's trying to build up into a tripod. Minute 15 in this third period. Isley is up 2-1. Isley hits a little bit of a roll, but Elam clinging on, almost gets a near fall there. Elam back to that claw ride and tight waist. Now we're under a minute left. Elam now over a minute of riding time. Elam gets the right out. Obviously, it would be a tie match. He does not get the right out. But out finally, he's up 3-1. Elam does have 1:15 of riding time and only 30 seconds left. Elam in on a leg shot. He does the chest wrap and he gets his hips way back. Got a ton of pressure on Elam right here. The guys stopped. Isley and Elam stopped wrestling because they heard the whistle on the other mat. I think they were going to call a stalemate in a second or two anyway, but that could have been very interesting. Defends another shot. Excuse me, 3-2, Carter Isley with the win over Zach Elam. Will win the duel, 34-6. So to recap what we had here, Missouri came out, scored a ton of points, very offensive. Won 8 out of 10 matches, a lot of bonus points. They win the duel 34-6. The Panthers now will have 9 matches on mat number 2 while Iowa State and Missouri wrestle. And we will call those matches, but I don't think we're going to start until 4 o'clock. So we're going to take a 20-minute break. They will Where the Panthers were defeated by Missouri in the first dual meet. The second dual meet against Arizona State obviously will not happen with Arizona State coming down with some COVID issues. They did not make the trip. We do, however, have 9 pretty good matchups here after the dual meet. It'll be a mixture of Iowa State, UNI, and Missouri UNI. So we'll call those 9 matches. Going to start off with probably a great match right away with Alex Mackel from Iowa State and Brody Teske from UNI. Teske, who won in the Missouri duel, is back at it here to wrestle Mackel from Iowa State.
Our matchup at 145 pounds for Missouri, ranked number 23 in the nation, Connor Brown. For Iowa State at 125, a freshman from UNLV.
Teske now 3-0 on the year. Fort Dodge. Macklin on a shot, drives Teske to his far hip and gets a 2-point takedown. Mackel covering both of Teske's legs, pinching him together. So Teske having trouble even getting his knees under him to build back up. Mackel he's got a bar arm on Teske. Teske's trying to loosen that bar a little bit. Works back up to his base. Now he's trying to get up to his feet. Mackel pulls him back over. Still got a bar. Now he's running the bar arm. Drags him back, trying to expose him again, and then starts running that bar. Teske does a nice little sit through for a 1-point escape. So Mackel up 2-1, does have a minute of riding time already, with just over a minute left in this first period. Macklin on a shot. Teske fights that off. They go out of bounds and they call action here, so no stall. Teske with the collar tie slides off to the other left-hand collar tie. Mackel with a little bit of a duck action there. Control Teske's left elbow and either pass it or go under it. Teske back to a collar tie, trying to dig a underhook, drops to a knee. Mackel does a good job with that 2-on-1 that tries to go back under Teske. 10 seconds left in the period. 2-1 Mackel. And that will be the end of the period with Mackel holding that 2-1 advantage and 1:01 of riding time. Teske's choice. Teske is going to defer over to Mackel. And Mackel will start the second. $125-pounders here, Teske and Mackel. Teske trying to get a count on Mackel. Gets out of position. Mackel starting to come out of it. Teske was in a little bit of trouble, but Mackel just gets the 1 for the escape. So Mackel up 3-1. Teskey kind of owns the edge there. And Mackel gets a stall call against him for essentially walking off the mat and not trying to work back in. Mackel started working 2-on-1 on Teskey's right arm. Teskey hand fights out of that. Teskey with the tie, Mackel collar tie. Some good activity here from these 25-pounders, but no points scored in the second except for that Mackel escape. Mackel a little bit of a throw by, but serious attempt at it. Both guys staying in fairly good position. Mackel's got his back to the big circle, but Teskey doesn't take advantage of it and shoot him out. Teskey does take a straight-on double right there. Mackel defends. And the second period ends with a Mackel 3-1 advantage. He does have 47 seconds of riding time, but Teskey will start the third period in the down position. Teskey working up to his feet. Mackel does a good job of pulling him back down. Teskey back up to his feet. Mat return. Bounces Teskey off the mat. Mackel now over a minute of riding time. He's fighting hands. He's back up and he's out. It's a 2 Mackel lead over Teskey. Mackel does have a minute 12 of riding time. Teskey forces Mackel out. Referee says we do have some action there. Teskey working his underhook. Mackel doing a good job with his head. Blocking him off. It just kind of whips Teskey over to his back, but they go out of bounds. So no points. Minute 12 left in the period. And with a minute 12 of riding time, it's almost a 3-point takedown if Teskey can get a takedown and ride him 13 seconds and erases that point there. 50 seconds left in the third period. Teskey's going to have to open that pace. Reaches out for a ankle. Doesn't get it. Teskey's just staying nice and Mackel staying nice and square. Teskey continues to wrestle off the mat. And he gets the stall call, which will tie the match at 3-3 for the time being. But Mackel still has that minute 12 of riding time. So now Teskey goes into his underhook, tries to step over. Mackel hips him through to his back, but there's no points. There's 15 seconds left. Teskey looked like he was starting to pay for a minute, and then I think he realized how much he did have enough time for a decent attempt. He's still got enough time. He gets another stall call. And a takedown. He gets a 1-point stall call with 5 seconds left and a takedown with about 1 second left to win the match 5-4. I actually think it ought to be 6. That's not right. They did not put the score up correctly. It should be, I think it should be 6-3. Is that correct? 6-4 with the riding time. Mack will preserve that riding time. Teskey, nice job continuing to wrestle all the way through this, all the way through the 7 minutes, all the way through. Because he gets a stall call to go overtime, but continues to wrestle, gets a takedown to win the match, with just a tick or two left in that match. That's really good job. So Teskey goes 4-0 on the season. Next matchup, University of Northern Iowa, Kyle Goldhofer. He will wrestle University of Missouri's Dak Punk. Goldhofer, redshirt freshman. He's out of the great state of Georgia. Speaking of state wrestling, we know we talked about Illinois, talked about Minnesota, Georgia. Vastly improved the last few years. Have all sorts of D1 wrestlers now from the state of Georgia. Both guys doing a ton of hand fighting here. Goldhofer's trying to get that over tie. Punk does a good job of his tie up. And then Goldhofer just shrugs back out of it, clears it. Minute 45 left in the first period. Goldhofer and Punk tied at 0. If you're just tuning in, Arizona State did not make the trip. They had some COVID-related issues in Tempe. We have 9 extra matches here. Now we have 8 since Brody Teskey just won a match. Goldhofer in on a shot. But Punk doing a job, dropping his hips on Goldhofer's head. Punk still in the front headlock. Goldhofer works his way out of that and then back to his feet. Nice little attempt there by Goldhofer. So in this already abbreviated season, the Panthers have got one dual meet they've lost already, obviously today against Arizona State. On the other hand, we are wrestling. So that's a huge bonus. Then we've got Division I wrestling across the country. Guys train hard, want to compete. Want to go out and battle for themselves and their school, and they're getting the opportunity. Goal off, nice little fake there. Up to a knee, though. Seconds left in this first period. Goldhofer in on a leg, and he gets a stall call against Punk. Goldhofer either needs to build under that or he needs to cut that corner. But Punk doing a real good job of dropping his hips on. Goldhofer builds up. Punk reloads with those hips again. And is trying to smash Goldhofer's position there. Goldhofer just powers through that. But now he's below the knee. It's going to be harder to finish here. Oh, he's going for a little cradle, little near cradle. He's not going to give him the 2-point takedown. No, he will not get that. Even though he continued to wrestle through the period and was aggressive the whole time. So at 0-0, Dak Punk does have a stall warning on him. Goldhofer will start the second period in the down position. Goldhofer is up in his tripod. Punk is trapping that ankle. But Goldhofer does not continue to wrestle. Kind of limp legs out of that, gets his 1 point escape. In the lead, 1-0. We will try to get Coach Schwab here after our 9th match. Get his thoughts on the day. One minute left in the second here. Goldhofer up 1-0. The pace is slowed somewhat. But Goldhofer is still taking attempts, is still trying to go under Punk. .30 seconds left here in the second period. Goldhofer, good snap. Tries to get his shoulder on top, and he does. He's in his front headlock. Right arm's pretty deep. Punk's got a good bite on it on Goldhofer's elbow. But at this point, if you run him out of bounds, you might get a stall call also. Or bounce his head and try to go behind. So Goldhofer stays aggressive in that position on the edge of the mat, and it pays a dividend of 1 point per the stall call. And that's how the second period's going to end, with Goldhofer up 2-0. And Dak Punk from Missouri going down to start the third period. Punk to his feet, needs to square up to get his 1 point, and he does. He has not been awarded a point yet, but as long as, well, you know what, Goldhofer did not let him go and kept coming around behind. Just hard-nosed, gritty ride by Goldhofer to deny Punk that 1 point escape. And now Goldhofer is starting to accrue his riding. Just tight waist, just getting Punk's head, hands, a lot of weight, going forward, keeping him off balance. So now Goldhofer's got 30 seconds of riding time. He's halfway there to his point. He's got a 2-0 lead in the match. Punk's flat on his belly. Goldhofer trying to sink in a bar arm and trap that same wrist. He's running the bar, and he's got Punk right on the side of the edge of the mat, still with the bar arm in. And a ton of pressure on Punk's head and hands. So on the restart, there's 32 seconds left in the match. Kyle Goldhofer from UNI has a 2-0 lead over Dak Punk from Missouri, and 1 minute and 4 of riding time. Punk's trying to get up to his feet. Gets back in his short sit now. Goldhofer got 200s, just kind of following along with him. The pressure, maybe looking for a little suck back. Punk reaches back, grabs Goldhofer's head, and tries to spin out. Gets his 1 point escape. So it's 2-1, Goldhofer. Punk takes a wild shot, long wild shot. Goldhofer scrambling, trying to cut the corner and go behind, but that will be the match. And with the riding time, Kyle Goldhofer from UNI will win 3-1 over Dak Punk from the University of Missouri. It is a little bit odd to be in Hilton Coliseum wrestling against Missouri, but that's what it is. Now we've got an Iowa State UNI matchup. 133 pounds, Kyle Biscaglia from UNI, Todd Small, Iowa State. A little bit of a clash in styles here. Biscaglia wants to be on the mat. He wants to control wrists. Todd Small, explosive. Can score points in bunches. Biscaglia on a knee, Small. Hits a nice little cuff to Biscaglia and then gets in a front headlock. Trying to extend Biscaglia. Small trying to cut the corner. Biscaglia looking a little Kelly action. Now both guys on a knee as they work to their feet. Biscaglia back down to one knee. On the knees, usually trying to take ground, coming to you. Snap you down to the mat. Possible snap, release, in on a leg. Small working a little Russian tie, 2-on-1. Going behind Biscaglia. And just for a second, he was behind Biscaglia, but there were no points. Kyle did a real good job of turning and facing quick enough that there was no takedown. Under a minute in the first period. Biscaglia and Small. Biscaglia in on an outside shot. Small doing a good job going down and away with his hips. Biscaglia trying to build, lift Small. 30 seconds left to operate here, and we're going to get a stalemate. 28 seconds left in the first, 0-0. Small and Biscaglia. That real well, went under Biscaglia. It just drove him to a hip and got a 2-point takedown. Six seconds left in the first period. Biscaglia, Granby roll, trying to get out for one, did not. Small drops a leg in, and the period will end there with a 2-0 lead for Todd Small from Iowa State over Kyle Biscaglia from UNI. Small does have 13 seconds of riding time. Panthers will start in the down position to start the second period. Biscaglia fighting hands as he's trying to get to his feet. Needs more back pressure. Small to that claw ride. Comes back to a tight waist. Biscaglia out for his 1 point. to cut that lead in half, 2-1. Biscaglia wrestled 125 the last 2 years. Now he's a 133-pounder. Biscaglia in on an outside shot. Real deep's got his head in between Small's legs, trying to elevate Small. Small does have Biscaglia's ankle, but if he can clear Small's top leg there, he's probably going to give him a 2-point takedown. He's still not giving it to him. That looks like control. I know he's got his ankle, but that's control, and he gets the 2. And we've got a stalemate. So nice job by Biscaglia to continue competing there. Gets the takedown. He's ahead 3-2, and he's going to start eating into a little bit of that riding time, even though it's not much of a factor right now, 34 seconds. Small right on the whistle. Biscaglia comes up with him, trying to drag him back down, return him any way he can. Laces a leg and gets Small back down to the mat. They're right on the edge of the mat. And we go off the edge of the mat. 24 seconds left in the period. Small right back up to his feet again. Without much pressure, but Bisco puts that left leg in. His hips are a little bit low on that. Small's trying to get outside that leg. He clears the leg. Got in a little bit of a scramble there. Looked like Small might have had loss of control. Didn't give it to him. If you're a Panther fan, you're okay with that. So Biscaglia up 3-2. Small from Iowa State's going to go back under him to start the third. In just 2 seconds of riding time. Small once again right to his feet. Biscaglia does a great job of a back trip there. Of course, he had a 2-on-1 on Small's wrist, so he couldn't stop it. And he keeps bumping Small forward here. Now Biscaglia is starting to get a little bit of riding time. He's up over 30 seconds now, 31 to be precise. A minute and a half left in the match, with Biscaglia up 3-2. That was a caution on Biscaglia, I believe. Small right up to his feet again, 4 times in a row. The problem's not getting to his feet, it's actually getting away after that. Biscaglia's now got him in a little bit of a body lock, but Small does a good job of clearing out his hips and kind of trying to, basically trying to throw Biscaglia, but Biscaglia drops in on a single and they go out of bounds. Just gritty, clingy. Continue to compete in there. And if that's what it takes, you go 15-second rides. Go out of bounds, 15-second ride. Stay away, 15-second ride. Now, that was definitely Iowa State jumping the gun there. So Small gets a caution. Minute 14 in the third. Biscaglia up 3-2. Closing in on some riding time, possibly. Up over 50 seconds. grip of Biscaglia there. He does, but Biscaglia drops down into a leg. There's no separation there yet. This is another place where now he's got a body lock. This is more where, if you need to take the stall call, you take the stall call, but now we're out of bounds. He did give the escape. The referee gave the escape there. Coach Schwab's trying to talk to the referee, and the referee's not talking to him, so we start the match again. But in reality, it's 4-3 if Biscaglia could keep that minute and 14 of riding time. So there goes Small, drops to a knee and a double. He's going through another double, drives through it, puts Biscaglia on a hip. Biscaglia in a bad way here. If Small can cover that ankle. Now he's calling danger, and that he made the danger call. I don't know if the guys even know that. Plus, they're kind of in a weird spot where they can't, neither one of them could move. From here, it didn't look like it was, I mean, it was close to danger. It was real close, but it didn't look like he broke the plane where that count should have happened. On the other hand, Small did what he needed to do with a great leg attack and a finish. So now Biscaglia tries to roll through, lifts. Will win the match 5-3, and there will be no riding time for Biscaglia. Hits 59-second mark. I think Biscaglia is probably thinking he let one get away there. And he may have. I thought he controlled mostly the tempo of that match. And down to not a clean takedown, a takedown where you're going to hold a guy in danger for a couple seconds and then get that takedown awarded to you. So congratulations, Small gets it done. But I think Bisco's probably a little upset with 133 pounds, Jack Skudlarczyk, University of Northern Iowa. From Iowa State. Both these guys usually score a lot of points, take a lot of risks. Should be an entertaining match. Skudlarczyk preseason ranked number 14 in the country. Richard Jr., Austin, Texas. NCAA qualifier last year. Three-time Texas champ. Fargo All-American. Not a ton of it. Scuds in, but didn't see the opening. Hits a knee again. Now they're back in their collar tie. Skudlarczyk now with a front headlock, but Ramazan does a good job of clearing out of that and getting back to his feet. Underhook Ramazan. Minute left in the first period, 0-0. Northern Iowa and Iowa State. Skudlarczyk, Ramazan. Still, both guys staying pretty square with each other. Nobody's taken a real serious leg attempt here or an offensive attempt. Just lots of positioning going on here, but once again, not a ton of attacks by either guy. So first period, 0-0. Skidlarczyk gets the choice. Second period, he's going to go underneath Ramazan. Ramazan right to an outside ankle. Skidlarczyk working up into his tripod. Now he's fully on his feet. Ramazan coming over the top, which is usually not good. And Skidlarczyk comes out for his 1-point escape. Like he could have had that outside single, might have given up on it just a tad early, but now he's in front headlock. Skidlarczyk heavy on Ramazan's right elbow. Nice little shuck by. But Scud just circles back up. Couple leg attempts there, but just too close to the edge of the mat where either guy can scramble out if they're in any danger. Take that risk right in the center. Ramazan now trying to force his underhook. Skidlarczyk drops to a knee and reaches again, but is not even touching Ramazan's leg. Ramazan now drops it on that same shot. Does not give up on it. Gets it. Trying to come around behind Skidlarczyk, but Skidlarczyk wants to come up and elevate Ramazan's leg. Ramazan did a good job of putting a lot of weight on that leg, but now Skidlarczyk's rolling over it where he can't put a bunch of weight on it. And we get a stalemate. 16 seconds left. Second period, 1-0 Jack Skidlarczyk. On from Iowa State. Start the third period. Ramazan's going to pick the down position. And put a right on Ramazan. Ramazan to a short sit, trying to push up to stand up. He does. Skidlarczyk way out of position there. Still has a seat belt. Has not given up a one yet. Very close. As soon as Ramazan squares up a little bit more, but Skidlarczyk's got enough seatbelt where he controlled him. Ramazan is out for this match, 1-1. Minute and a half left in this match. Riding time not a factor at this point. Ramazan was digging two unders. Skidlarczyk had nothing to do with that. Drops the knee, reaches out. Gets Ramazan's leg, but delayed reaction. Ramazan now gets his hips back and defends that leg shot pretty well. Skidlarczyk again to a knee and just reaches. If he hits that knee, penetrates and reaches, he might have something cooking here. But just hitting a knee and reaching is awful hard to get a high caliber wrestler in a takedown. Ramazan's in on his shot. Skidlarczyk, pretty good little scrambler, but so's Ramazan. Skidlarczyk needs to go forward here. If he can go forward, now he's got that should be a 2-point takedown. I can hear Coach Schwab yelling that. I agree with that. It looks like he's got control locked up. I don't know how he doesn't have a 2-point takedown. To me, that's 2 all day. But he is not going to get it. He is not going to get that takedown. There's some Panther fans behind me. You can probably hear them. They're not happy with that call either. Looked like the referee said, hey, they were still facing him. It looked like Skidlarczyk had control. That 2 points should have been awarded. Obviously, Schwab believes that. Does not matter what we think. It did not get called 2. We're into overtime. 1-1, Skidlarczyk, Ramazan. Skidlarczyk kind of relaxes there. Ramazan in on a leg, and Skidlarczyk trying to go behind, doesn't have it yet. If he puts him on the match is over, but he's got to get him down to the mat. And now we're off the mat. Ramazan will get warned for stalling there. But I think you take that one stall call, obviously, instead of a. So we're going to continue overtime here. 1-1. Skidlarczyk. Ramazan, Iowa State. He will start the down position to start the second period. Second period. The second overtime. Skidlarczyk pulls him into a crab ride. Right leg of Skidlarczyk run out of that for an escape or possibly even a reversal. Skidlarczyk is hanging in there, is being gritty. Bad way here, and he's going to give up a 2-point ball. And so Skidlarczyk's turn to go down. Obviously needs to score some points here. It's 5-1 now. Ramazan with that 2 reversal and 2 near fall. Ramazan releases Skidlarczyk. Makes it now 5-2, but that will be the match. So Ramazan from Iowa State, 5-2 winner over Jack Skidlarczyk. Coach Schwab is trying to get another explanation why we were in overtime instead of victorious at the end of the third period. Nonetheless, we move forward to 141-pound Drew Bennett from UNI. He's wrestling Charlie Kleps from Iowa State. Bennett, a redshirt sophomore, Fort Dodge, Iowa. Bennett jumped a weight class from last year. Was a 133-pounder last year. Now he's a 141-pounder. Pretty rangy, but I think he can still fill out that weight class a little more. Kleps with a hard cuff to Bennett's head. Bennett with the over tie. Bennett clears it. Tries to go under Kleps. Doesn't get it. Now he hits a little fireman's action off the side of the mat. But just good to see Bennett going under, taking some risk. He's got a ton of ability. So Kleps back in. Nice snap off by Bennett. Collar tie again. Now Bennett is starting to work up a Russian tie, a little 2-on-1. Kleps outside shot, reshot by Bennett. We go off the mat. Starting to get a little more action here. Kleps back to that collar tie. Bennett on the elbow. Kleps outside shot. Bennett defends it well. Now he's got a real good head position here as Kleps tries to dig in that that underhook. Bennett going an ankle pick. Doesn't quite drive through it enough to score. But it's good action by the Fort Dodge native. Bennett's putting Kleps in motion. Hasn't scored any points yet, but he's making Kleps defend. Kleps goes under Bennett. Bennett tries to run the corner on him. Kleps does a nice job of squaring back up. And we will have a 0-0 score heading into the second period. Kleps' choice. He's going to go under Bennett to start the second period. Bennett covers, trying to get Kleps extended. Pushing his way forward, trying to go off to a claw ride. Now he's got a spiral half ride. Kleps gets up to his feet. And gets out for his 1-point escape. So Kleps draws first blood, 1-0 over Drew Bennett. Bennett shucks Kleps down the mat for a 2-point takedown, but Kleps, nice job of continuing to wrestle right back to his feet. Gets his 1-point escape. So we have a 2-2 match halfway through the second period. Both men with a collar tie, trying to dig in inside position. Kleps now with an over tie. Now Bennett gives Kleps a little cuff, and Kleps gives him one back. Bennett had his shoulder on top just for a second, then drops low. He's way down at Kleps' ankle. Kleps trying to kick out of it. Bennett catches up with him to get the 2-point takedown. But Kleps keeps wrestling. Finally does kick out. Gets his 1-point escape. So Bennett has a 4-3 lead with 20 seconds left here in the second period. Bennett did a good job of running that single down. good job of just continue to wrestle and get his escape. Period with a 1-point lead. And he's going to go down to start the third. And he has 22 seconds of riding time. So Kleps jumps the gun there. He'll catch a caution. Bennett rotating out on his head, and he just kept rotating out. I think if he keeps going, he's out for his one. Kleps does a nice job of following him. A little elevator roll. Bennett is on his feet. Kleps behind, breaks the lock, and he's out for his 1-point escape to push his lead to 5-3. 6 seconds of riding time. Should not be a factor. Bennett lowers his level, and he's taking ground. But Kleps does a good job of getting his hips back. And now Bennett, a little bit of a throw by. Kleps does a real nice job of Bennett shooting off that. Drew Bennett, 5-3 lead over Iowa State's Charlie Kleps. Kleps it on a little outside shot. Bennett got a little out of position there, tried to run him over with his hips. But no harm, no foul. Kleps taking that underhook. Bennett in pretty good position, got pretty good head position to fight that off. Kleps a hard cuff. 40 seconds left in the third period. Bennett hanging on to that 5-3 lead. Now we're down to 30 seconds. Kleps goes under Bennett. Does not touch his legs. But Bennett definitely on the defensive here. Kleps straight on double. 30 seconds left. And you know Kleps is coming, Drew Bennett. Bennett collar tie. Kleps drops it on a leg. Bennett brings him back up to his feet. Now Bennett drops it on an ankle, and he will get a 2-point takedown right at the whistle. Nice job of, a reshot and continue to wrestle. And that match will end up 7-3. And that was a pretty good match for both guys. Not indicative of 7-3 with that late score, but nice job by Drew Bennett getting the victory. Take a peek over here. Missouri Tigers up over the Cyclone 12-4. I believe they're going into 165 pounds. Originally, Cade Laro was scheduled to wrestle this match for UNI. It is now Colin Realbuto. His opponent from Iowa State is Ben Monroe. Realbuto, 157 pounds, redshirt sophomore. He's from Summers, New York. Wrestled at Brown University last year. Realbuto right away with an underhook. Monroe tries to drop under him. I think Cade Lara originally was supposed to wrestle this, like I'd said. I think he tweaked his ankle a little bit. Collins says, I'm the man. Put me in. I want to wrestle. Monroe in on a low shot. Robuto does a nice job of defending that. He's trying to slide off, get his hips back, get into front head, which he does. Then he drops it on a low single. Puts Monroe on a hip. But it's not clean yet. Monroe's still got Robuto's toe and ankle. Now Robuto going for some head. Here's Headhunter. Trying to put Monroe in a little bit of danger, which he has not yet. And we're going to get a stalemate here. So Monroe gets that ankle and toe and just holds on for dear life. And gets the stalemate. Halfway through the period, first period. Now Monroe in on a shot. Locks through the crotch. Probably looking to finish this thing in a near cradle if he can. Monroe doing a nice job of elevating Robuto. Robuto back on Monroe's ankle. Still scrambling. Robuto needs to drive over that. Keep the weight on that left leg and drive over it. And we've got another stalemate. So 58 seconds left, a lot of action. 0-0, Monroe, Robuto. .40 seconds left in the first. Monroe drops back in on another single. Robuto has got the near ankle, and he's trying to cut the corner. He'll trap that ankle and get a two-point takedown. And now he's trying to crowd Monroe's head to try to get a cradle. Gives up on that, and he's working out front with a cross wrist ride, now a claw, and just driving Monroe forward. Sits him back in a short sit. 10 seconds left in this first period. Robuto up 2-0. And that's the way the first period is going in, with Robuto from UNI up 2-0 over Monroe from Iowa State. UNI starts down in the second period. Robuto did a good job of sealing Monroe off there and just doing a couple little quarter turns and getting out for his one-point escape. Nice job, Robuto. So up 3-0, Monroe snapping Robuto, and he's got his wrist. Now he drops it on a shot. Same thing we saw in the first period, but the other side. Now Robuto's trying to cut the other corner with the near ankle. If he breaks that grip, probably going to get his two-point takedown, but Monroe's holding on to that thing. Now he's got him more of a crackdown position, and Robuto's trying to crotch lift him and slide under him and get a takedown. Robuto's trapped his ankle. He's getting very close to a two-point takedown right here. Monroe still has Robuto's left leg. So no takedown, even though Robuto's still trying to lock that cradle up. And it's a stalemate. So 47 seconds left, second period. Robuto up 3-0 over Monroe from Iowa State. Robuto goes to a 2-on-1, off into his underhook. Monroe works out of that. Short time here in the second period. But Real Butte takes a shot, gets a stall call, plus he's got a single up in the air. He does not have a takedown yet. Now he's covered both legs. That's a 2-point takedown, and he was looking for more. And Monroe bellies out to just give up the 2. But Monroe gives up the stall warning and a 2-point takedown to Real Butte, and Real Butte is out to a 5-0 lead and will start the third period on top. Real Butte chops on Monroe's arm, drives him to his near hip. Working the one-on-one near wrist. Now he's working cross cradle action. Got a good cross face in that far ankle. Monroe's trying to pop that right arm of Real Butte's over the top. Now Real Butte's in on a shot, even though he started underneath. Just like a shot finish from neutral. Real Butte on his hip, but he's still getting riding time because he has not lost the position yet. Monroe keeps circling in. He's got Real Butte's hip on the mat, but Real Butte still has both of Monroe's ankles. And he still has advantage time working in his favor. And we get a stalemate. So Real Butte has a 5-0 lead, now a minute 36 of riding time. 47 seconds left in the match. Real Butte goes that claw right. Tight waist, tries to bring it back through and throw that half in. Now he's got a high thigh. Cranking on Monroe's head. Ton of pressure on Monroe's lower back and a hip right there with Real Butte elevating that leg. Now Monroe gets the leg free, but Real Butte's right there to tilt him, but doesn't get the exposure. 10 seconds left of the match. Real Butte's got a he should be able to secure the victory here with just 2 more ticks left of the clock, and he does. So with the riding time, 2 minutes and 22 seconds worth of it, Colin Real Butte will beat Ben Monroe 6-0. Next up, we have from the University of Northern Iowa, Pat Schoenfelder, wrestled the Missouri, and now he's got a match against Isaac Judge from Iowa State. Pat goes under Judge, but does not really get anything going leg-wise, attack-wise there. And I would think after that Missouri match, Coach Brett Robbins, and Brett wants him to take more chances. Trust your skills. I think Coach Robbins challenged him. We'll see if Schoenfelder goes under Judge here and wrestles the type of match that we know Pat can. Quick update, Missouri Tigers 24, Iowa State Cyclones 4. I think they have 3 or 4 weights left. Missouri was impressive. They score points, and then they score more points. And then they try to score more points, which is usually a pretty good thing when you're trying to score points, giving yourself a chance. Now Judge a shot. Sheffield did a good job. He ran over. Just hesitated for a minute, but looked like he could have ran him over that knee block. Judge does a nice job of not giving up the 2-point takedown. Actually off Judge's shot. Shane Felder is a redshirt junior. Hails from Antioch, Illinois. Oh, that's the other whistle. That's the other whistle. Well, maybe it wasn't the other whistle. Looked like one guy stopped wrestling, the other guy didn't. And the mat's 4 officials, 2 whistles going. So Judge in on a shot. He's trying to secure that leg. Actually does a good little finish there. Puts Shanefelder down for a 2-point takedown. Wasn't anything too fancy, almost a step-in single and just a little dump action for the first offensive points of the match. 15 seconds left in the first period. Judge doing a good job of 2-on-1 ride on Shanefelder. And he will ride him out after that takedown the remainder of the first period. And he's accrued 38 seconds of riding time and a 2-0 lead. So it's Shanefelder's choice. He's saying for the third. Judge will go down to start the second period. He's out right away for his 1-point escape. Shanefelder's got to pick up the pace here. And not just pick up the pace to pick up the pace, but pick up the pace in a offensive fashion where you give yourself a chance to score some points here. Shanefelder in on a leg, driving through that double, puts Judge down for 2, and you can see how explosive that was. That is the reason Coach Robbins wants him to go under, take more risk. He gets the takedown, gets a little bit out of position, out of control. Judge gets the 1-point escape. So he's got a 4-2 lead, Judge does, with 50 seconds left in the second period. Judge trying to run the corner on a front headlock. In that front head. Less than 30 seconds in the second period. It will be Shanefelder's choice in the third. But if you get through him right now, a quick 2, it would be a feather in his cap. It would tie up this match. So that's how the second period's going to end, 4-2. Iowa State's Isaac Judge over UNI's Pat Shanefelder. 30 seconds of riding time. So right now, not a factor. Judge got a tight waist, looking to pick a near wrist. Judge got a trapped ankle. You can hear Coach Schwab maybe saying, hey, you got to clear that ankle, got to clear that ankle. Build back up. Judge doing a good job of putting a lot of weight forward on Shanefelder. Shanefelder tries a couple of elevators to no avail, and now Judge he's over a minute of riding and still accruing it. Only a minute 10 left in the match. And Shanefelder down 4-2. Judge putting a hard ride on Shanefelder's, trying to get a little hammer lock, trying to get Shanefelder's arm up on his back. But just putting that continuous pressure going forward. And the UNI athlete will be warned for stalling. 30 seconds left in the match now. 4-2 lead for Judge. But he's got riding time locked down. He's got a 2-on-1 ride and just a ton of pressure going towards Shanefelder's head. And he just buries his head in the mat again. So Judge is going to get the ride out in the third period, get an additional point. So Judge beats Shanefelder 5-2. Two more matches. 174 and then 197. £174. Lance Runyon, University of Northern Iowa. He's going to wrestle University of Missouri's Dwayne Villapando. Runyon wrestled about an hour and a half ago, suffered his first loss of the season. Villapando drops in on a leg, gets a 2-point takedown. Runyon try to hit that little elevator. But they go out of bounds. So with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first period, Runyon gets set again on the bottom. Now he's up to his tripod. Now he's all the way up. And he's going to be out for goes right there. 2-1 Villapando for Missouri over UNI's Runyon. Good snap by Villapando. Runyon hits the knee, does not touch the leg. Villapando then with an underhook that he drops below Runyon, but Runyon that. Good snap by Villapando again. Good hands, good powerful hands. Good pull on Runyon. Runyon reaches up, gets his collar tied. Villapando back in on a shot. Runyon's getting his hips back. Don't think he's in any danger there, but now they're in an over-under situation. Both guys have an underhook. Runyon trying to clear Villapando's right arm, and he does. 45 seconds left in the first period. Real nice low shot by Runyon. Trying to get around behind Villapando for the 2-point takedown. Does not have it yet. Needs to keep circling in behind him. Now he's going to come up with Villapando. And a hard spike finish to Villapando's hip gets Lance Runyon a 2-point takedown. So now Runyon up 3-2, goes right to his claw ride and waist. 15 seconds left in this first period. A right out here would be huge for Runyon. Runyon still with that claw, still got a foot in, so the clock's still ticking. And there'll be 3 seconds left on the restart in this first period, with Runyon holding a 3-2 advantage. Running right back to that claw, and that's the end of the first period. So Runyon gets the choice here in the second. He's going to go down. He does have a 3-2 lead. He does have 1 second of riding time. Runyon hits like a little bit of a switch action. Villapano's still in on a single. He's at least got his 1-point escape. Well, they haven't awarded anything yet. Now they have now, even though Villapano's got a single. I think that got awarded pretty late, but it is what it is. Runyon's got to wrestle this position now. At this second, he's up 4-2. Villapano trying to pull Runyon back in. There's no points there yet. Pressure on Villapano. They're going to call a stalemate here. That's a good scrap by Lance Runyon right there, not giving up the 2-point takedown. So Runyon up 4-2. 1 minute left in the second period. On a low single. Just caught Villapano off guard, I think. He didn't even react to it. Runyon gets that single. Drives Villapano to the mat. Now Runyon's trying to go crossface. Trying to tuck his left shoulder under the mat. Runyon up 6-2 now. Starting to build his right time. Villapano gets a stall warning, which he has not tried to build up yet from his belly. Runyon got a one-on-one wrist ride. Now he drops off, or goes to his claw, and just driving forward. And with just a few seconds left in this second period, Runyon's kind of opened this match up with an escape and a takedown. He's up now 6-2 going into the third, and he's got 44 seconds of riding time. Now Villapano's going to go neutral position here. Runyon way far outshot. Villapano defends that. They're both back up on their feet now. Runyon with a collar tie. Villapano panics a little bit, just kind of dives in on a shot. Doesn't hardly touch Runyon's leg, and Runyon brings him up to his feet. They both got, once again, both have unders and overs here. Runyon basically just walked Villapano out of bounds there. Villapano did not try to work back in, so he catches a stall warning, which is his second, and that's going to cost him a point. So now Runyon up 7-2. 1 minute left in the match, and Runyon spins around behind. Little easy go behind, puts him up 9-2. If he gets a right out here, obviously he can get another point for the riding time. Villapano's not trying to build up to that base, and he's going to get warned again for stalling. Another point awarded to Runyon. Runyon's got a near wrist and trying to run Lopondo over it. Then now he just goes to his claw and is trying to get a tilt, and he does not have a count yet. So with the writing time, Lance Runyon from UNI, 11-2 victor over Phil Pondo from University of Missouri. Last match of the night for the Panthers will be at 197 pounds. For the Panthers, the Parker Kakaisen. For Missouri, it will be Wyatt Coling. Coling is a 97-pounder, so obviously Kakaisen is bouncing up from 84 to 97 for the match. Coling's wrestled quite a bit of varsity for the Tigers. Kakaisen will go 100%. He will wrestle hard. He's in on a outside single. He's trying to lift that leg. He gets it elevated, trips Coling, does not get the 2-point takedown, but if he covers that ankle and gets him down, now he's going to have to drag him back in. He's going to have to, he's getting too extended. He's going to have to try to drag him back in to try to finish that. Good attack by Kakaisen. Both guys in collar ties here. Coling tried to dig that underhook. But Parker doing a good job of getting his hips back, clearing that underhook. Coling digging that underhook again. But Kakaisen does a good job of working out of that underhook. I believe we have some blood time for University of Missouri, Wyatt Coling. So disinfect the mat. Get a plug in his nose, and then we can get back after it. But Kakaisen actually, bumping up from 84 to 97. I mean, that's 13 pounds. 13 pounds of muscle. But these guys want to get matches. Open tournaments this year. Have to compete when you get a chance to compete, even if you have to give up some weight to a quality team and a quality opponent. Under a minute here in the first period. Still a lot of hand fighting going on. Kakaisen in on a leg. Coling just kind of pulls him up and out of there. Parker continues to take ground. Shoots Coling off the mat with that double. Kaisen's got one speed. It's fast and hard and forward. And it paid a little dividend there. Cohen gets a stall warning. Kaisen backing on a double. Cohen does a good job of just basically chest wrapping him and just kind of rolling to his back, going out of bounds, saving the 2-point takedown. But another good attack by Kaisen. 2 good attacks, but no takedown points. So first period going to end 0-0 with Cohen from Missouri having been warned for stalling and getting the choice to start the second, and he will go down. Cohen right that tripod. Kakaisen does a good job of trying to get some weight on Cohen's hands. Just step on his foot, maybe bump him forward, break him out of that tripod. Cohen just too solid there, so Kakaisen just releases him. So Cohen will go up 1-0. Kakaisen on another leg attempt. Call to action, so no warning there. Call to action off the edge of the mat. And Kakaisen has not scored any takedown points, but he has been really close 3 different times. Now we're getting a little crazy now. Now we're getting a little out of hand. Couple hard snaps, and then that gets close to a couple roundhouses. Right thing here. Let's get these guys together. Let everybody take a deep breath, and then right back at it. So Cohen from Missouri up 1-0. Minute 15 in the second period. Cohen hits a knee, I think, for the first time today. Kakaisen does a good job of defending it. Cohen wants to dig that underhook. There's no doubt about that. He's digging that underhook and trying to work some offense off of that. But Kakaisen's doing a great job of working out of that underhook or his overhook. So Kakaisen wants to go leg attacks if he can. And he's had 2 or 3 good ones already. On cue. Now Cohen flat on his belly. Now he's trying to, but Parker is really forcing him down. Had a 2-on-1 wrist ride for a second. Slides off to a claw. Just 10 seconds left in this second period. Right up. Kakaisen can get this. And we're right on the edge of the mat. Don't want to get out of position, and that is the end of the second period. So Kakaisen from UNI, 2-1 lead, 54 seconds fighting time, and going in the down position. Parker's up to his feet, and he's up 3-1. Both guys have a collar tie. Kakaisen snaps Cohen out of it. Cohen straight double. Cohen trying to dig that underhook, just can't find the opening there, but he tries to drop in on a single. Good reshot by Kakaisen. One minute left in this match. Parker Kakaisen 3-1 lead for Wyatt Cohen from Missouri. Cohen another shot. Real good job by Kakaisen on the reshot, lowers his level, puts those legs together, puts Cohen on a hip for a 2-point takedown. So Kakaisen up 5-1. He is over a minute of riding time now with 33 seconds left in the match. Cohen trying to build up, but Parker doing a real good job. Looked like he wanted to do a little side roll, Cohen. But Parker's not going to fall for that. He's just going to stay right on the middle of his back and just keep pushing him forward. 10 seconds to go in the match. So Parker to 1, bump up a weight, and win 6-1. Real good performance against Wyatt Cohen from Missouri. We are going to try to get Coach over here. And if we are successful, we'll talk to him a little bit. And I think I tracked him down. But logistically, if I walk over to Coach or closer so he can hear me because we've only got one headset. That is true. That is true. Coach wants to know why we can't be close to each other. And we're close to each other all the time. Not all the time, occasionally. Coach Schwab went 1-2, lost 8 in the Missouri duel.
Yeah.
Went 6-3 in the extra matches here. What's the whole tone of what?
I mean, look at that last match. We got a guy wrestling up a weight, but he just stayed in the fight the whole time. You know, and you could kind of see that guy's body language change, but he never backed off it though. You know, and then he would, but then he'd get back on it. You can't back off, guys. I mean, if you take a back seat to any of these guys, I mean, Missouri's a damn good team.
Yes, they are.
You know, and they're young, and they're going for bonus points. They're wrestling through positions. They can scramble well, but they came out for blood. Yeah. You know, they wanted to put an exclamation point there. I mean, I'm sure they remember, hey, we beat them last year, and like, you know what, we're not okay with that. But I think we see things more. You know, we can see too many positions, gave things way too easy, and that's just a lot of, to me, that's just a lot of staying focused in the fight, you know, and gotta be able to do that the whole time. I mean, even if we're overmatched in a situation, you know, turning down in positions and giving things, that can never be okay. But I mean, Missouri, I mean, heck, they put it on Iowa State. They got a good team, you know. I mean, they beat us in a lot of positions, man.
Missouri, no doubt, has a good team. They are young, hungry.
Yeah,
well, we're young and we want to be hungry.
Yeah,
but they start stacking points and points and points, but they give themselves chances.
Yeah, they scored a lot of points. They turned us a lot. We waited a lot on bottom, you know, like almost hoping that it's just the guy's gonna let you go maybe, but you know, those guys aren't gonna. You know, we tried to hold in too many positions and didn't tack enough, and you know, maybe you think it was gonna be easy in a way, but it was not gonna be easy. Nothing was gonna be easy, you know. And we had matches. Fortunately, we had some matches that I think really couldn't find a way to do that. You know, Teskey, I'll give Teskey, he friggin' finds a way, man. He's finding a way to get it done. But he's wrestling the whole time. Even if he gives up some points, he's making the guy go out and work and earn things. You know, you can certainly build from that. I think, you know, Parker, I was real happy with Parker. Just from the pace, energy. But, you know, look at that guy. I mean, his team's getting his ass kicked, and he's like, you know what? I got to take exception to that. We got to have that more. Where the guy, you know, I watched multiple one of their guys push off our guys at the end, and they whooped just so. But I mean, for me, that gets the memory. Okay, then that means we got to put more time in and invest more. You're incredibly high. You don't easy. You're willing to fight tooth and nail for absolute got to have more of that.
But right in the background there, we've got trouble from Iowa State.
But
but I'm moving easily. He beats Elam earlier.
Yeah, I mean, he had what a great attack he hit that second period. I think he can certainly do that more. You know, I told him after the match, you know, he put down, but he's waiting. He's like, I'll wait and I'll get away. I got my takedown. I'll win. That you run the risk. If he turns me or what if something happens? Like, don't play that game.
Yeah.
Do not play that game. And that's a reminder. It's nice to get a win and still have that reminder. But you know, he had a great attack, and you know, we got some guys that you know, those extra matches. They're all matches. They all count. All important. There was a couple. And I don't like to complain about it because it's a tough job. But man, I thought there was both the textbook wasn't an escape and was a text takedown for a long time. But you know what? But our guys, you got to be able to still manage that though. You still got to be able to overcome it because you might get a bet all the time. That might happen. So we didn't get the call. So now. I think, Guy, we got to maybe lick our wounds a little bit. We got to get a little pissed off and come back next week even better.
So you've got, I'm guessing you're going to have a day off this week, and then you're going to have some good quality practices. Then you got Oklahoma coming up.
Yeah,
Sunday
we got Oklahoma Sunday. You know, we got to wrestle them too. You know, I know they're going to bring a whole mess of guys. So we're going to get a lot of matches. I mean, we're going to get a lot of matches, and guys just got to continue improving, get better. You know, it is a shorter season condensed, so you know you got to learn those lessons faster. So our guys, it's got to speed up. So you know, we're not in November. We're in January. So those lessons learned, they got to be implemented now. That's got to be a quicker turnaround for us. It's got to be a quicker turnaround that we respond as a group. And I can tell you, once we walk out of here, I mean, this is going to be left behind us. It's going to burn like a son of a bitch, but we have to respond the right way. And there's only one way to respond, and that's to grit up and get better. And heck, Missouri, I'll give them credit, man. They kicked the ever-living dog out of both of us. They came to Iowa and had their way with two Iowa teams, and I don't like it.
I appreciate you taking the time, Coach.
Yep.
We'll see you Sunday in the McLeod against Oklahoma. Drive home safe.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yep, thanks.
Good night from Hilton Coliseum.
Wrestling will begin at 1 p.m. Thank you for attending today's meeting.
This might be the worst